Welcome to our viewers, and welcome to our guest, Professor Dr. Anis Ahmad from the International Islamic University in Islamabad, Pakistan. I would like to ask you on this segment, why do English-speaking Muslims prefer to use the Arabic name Allah rather than the English name God? Is there a difference between the Judeo-Christian God and the Muslim Allah?
Thank you very much. I think you have raised a very important question, but I'll try to be as simple as possible without being sounding theological.
Okay.
When we use the word God in English, we refer to a being who has created this world.
Yes.
Also a being
Yes.
who is taken as deity. Also a being who may have goddesses, and therefore the term does not convey one single meaning. It could be used for more than one objects with a gender orientation. The term Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not carry any of these denominations. Allah is particular or specific name of the Creator, which is beyond any gender classification. Secondly, it stands for one who is unique. Therefore, when we ask the Quran, who is this God you're talking about? The Quran says, it's not God, but Huwallahu Ahad. He is the one whose name is Allah. He is the one who has created this universe as ultimate. Now, the question arises, in Judaism, indeed, Yahweh is understood as a term which could not be even used by women and others for many, many centuries.
Could not be pronounced by them?
Sure, it was a term which carried enormous power and authority to be recited by certain people. It could not be translated. It was not like Elohim. Similarly, you find in Hinduism, Brahma or Rama or many other terms used. But none of these carry that comprehensiveness which this one single term in Arabic language or language of the Quran carries, Allah. Allah stands for the transcendent, the ultimate, the most powerful, the most knowledgeable, the most comprehending, the one who nurtures and nourishes the whole of humanity. It is not God of the Jews as Yahweh was. It's not God of a people in a region as Brahma was. It's not God of a people who come from a certain race, therefore not God of whites or blacks or yellow people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the ultimate provider for every single human being. Therefore the terminology itself is hard to be translated. When I translate it into God, then I'm using a Western secular framework in which God can rule in my sanctuary, in my church, in my synagogue, in my temple. But when I'm in parliament, then God has no business there. Then I have my own political thought, setup and structure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not the ultimate being confined in masjid or in a certain place. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as creator of humanity, as provider of humanity, is ultimate in every single aspect. Therefore, the Quran says you should declare He is Allah. And Ahad in Arabic does not mean numerical one, for which we have Wahid. But Ahad means one who is unique, one who is transcendent, one who is not comparable with anything else, which is elaborated in same chapter by saying He is the one who is not similar to anyone. He is the one who does not need any support, any kind of reinforcement. The words in Arabic that he is not born nor does he beget stands for his sustenance in his own capacity. He does not need to depend on a son for godhood, for fatherhood, nor the contrary. So the term Allah cannot be understood. Rather, it will be confused when we use such synonyms as God or some other terms.
You mentioned that various terms in various languages that we translate as God or the ultimate being, they have a geographical limit.
Yes.
Didn't the name Allah exist among the Arabs before the time of Prophet Muhammad, and didn't it originate from the Arabic language?
Sure. The Quran says that if you ask these Arabs, whom do you call when you are caught in a storm? They will say Allah. The term was not unknown to them. Similarly, the term Allah was not unknown to other people around. People in Syria, people in Ethiopia, people in surrounding countries, they knew very well this term. It was not a localized terminology. However, in Arabic language, its meaning are so comprehensive, which we do not find in other languages. Perhaps it's a beauty of Semitic languages, due to which this term has enormous meaning and a self-contained understanding, for which you do not need some other help to come from outside.
So you're not focusing so much on the human characteristics of the name Allah as a belonging to a language or of one sort or another, but you're focusing on the function of it, the fact that it has in the Arabic language certain semantic, certain limited semantic components that are what you want to mean when you say Allah.
Let's forget for a while about Arabic. Let's say we find out name Allah in anywhere in the world. We shall have to know what its meaning. The term God, as I said, has a confined meaning.
Yes.
The term Brahma has a confined meaning.
Yes.
If we want to find out who is ultimately the creator,
Yes.
then ultimate creator must be transcendent,
Okay.
must be most knowledgeable,
Okay.
must not be immanent.
Okay.
Immanence means confinement,
Yes.
materiality,
Yes.
measurability. Must not be particular to a tribe, a god of tribe, as you find Yahweh projected as god of tribe. So Allah, the term by itself, whether in Arabic or in some other language, demands a new approach of understanding the creator.
Okay.
So Allah stands for the vision which does not exist in other terminologies.
Okay. You mentioned a couple of words that I'd like to focus on.
Please.
First, you mentioned the terminology transcendent. Allah is transcendent. On the other hand, the opposite side of this, you mentioned the word immanent.
Yes.
You said Allah is not immanent. What do you mean by these two terminologies?
Well, I wanted to avoid theological discussions because I don't like those. I'm a very simple person. I believe transcendence means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is excellence to the extent of not being surpassed by anyone. While immanence means that you have someone confined in a person, in a space, in time. It is not only human beings, but an object could be immanent. Like you have totem and taboo and so many concepts in anthropology,
Yes.
where you have certain things that carry that power. So Allah, if is immanent, is confined, and that conflicts with the basic Islamic claim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is transcendent.
Okay. So you're saying when you say that Allah is not immanent, you mean that He cannot and does not and has never and will never exist in a human form.
Correct.
He will not materialize Himself in a
Correct.
human body,
Correct.
as you have in many religions, in
Sure.
fact.
Sure.
Would you say that Islam is different from all other religions in that particular point?
Well, Islamic approach is slightly different. Islam looks on other religions as part of a family which have
Maybe
departed.
we can come to this point in
Yes.
another segment.
Sure.
But for this point,
Islam looks differently than other religions. It does not look on the Creator as a confined being, but
Okay.
only as transcendent.
okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Anis, and thank you for our viewers for joining us.